Villagers are without a doubt the most overpowered thing in vanilla Minecraft, but working with them can be difficult and confusing. My name is Mischief Max, and today we're going to be looking at three aspects of villagers. The first thing we're going to be looking at are some of the benefits you can get just from having villagers. And not only gear, but many of the items that are very easy to collect. Second, we're going to look at how to actually get all these guys. Because let's face it, it doesn't matter if they're amazing if you don't have any. And third, we're going to look at how to actually use them. That didn't work. So why are villagers amazing? Well, the reasons are pretty simple. First off, gear. All of this gear was made by villagers and enchanted by villagers. It was that easy. The only thing I had to do was go get the netherite. All you need are a few basic villagers, a toolsmith, an armorsmith, and a weaponsmith. And you'll never need to farm diamonds again. After that, we come over here to the librarians where we can get any enchant that we want. Unbreaking, Power 5, Mending, Fortune 3, and a whole lot more. In addition to enchantments, you can get food from these guys, not to mention a lot of emeralds, but we'll get into that later. You can get all sorts of blocks from masons. You can get bricks, different types of terracotta, random blocks, as well as quartz. Clerics give you access to all sorts of things as well, like redstone, lapis, glowstone, ender pearls, and bottles of enchanting, which if you've never used those before, it's basically just free experience. The point is, villagers make the game super easy, at least once they're set up. Getting villagers set up is honestly the hardest part of working with villagers. Trading can be time consuming, but getting them all together can be very difficult. This, for example, is what I did when I speedran Diamond Armor. We got everything that we could ever need, but it really isn't nearly as helpful as what I have on my main world. It's very cramped, the villagers can walk around freely, it's a huge pain to deal with, and there's not a lot of room for expansion. To make things a little bit easier, what you're going to want to do is trap all of your villagers in one location. This is actually the area I used to get all those villagers in that massive trading hall. It's a relatively small room, but it's a little more spacious. But there's a few things that you need to do. The first step, of course, is to just find a village. It really doesn't matter what kind of village it is, as long as it has at least 2 villagers. More is great, but 2 is the minimum. So when it comes to actually trapping the villagers, there's really a couple ways to do it. The first, and probably the easiest, is to just drop a boat right in front of them. If you drop it nearby, and then you give them maybe just a little bit of a push, there we go. They get trapped in the boat, and if you're quick, you could jump in, and you can move around with them, take them wherever you want to go. You're going to want to bring them to a secure location, but there is one problem with boats. They get caught really easily. Another option is to ring the bell. If you ring the bell, the villagers will usually run into their house, and once there we go, we figured it out. Once they're inside, you can block them in, trapping them, and then you can take your time to figure out how you're going to get them wherever you want to go. And now, just like that, we've got 2 villagers trapped, and with a little bit of time, we can move them. Moving villagers is always a bit of a pain, so here's a few tricks. First, place down some rails, clear the area he's in so you have a little more room to work with, and drop a boat. He gets in the boat, no problem. Now, you're going to want to position the boat on top of the rails. Break the 2 blocks right in front of him, and of course, you're going to need to actually connect your rail system. Now there's one more thing. We just need to put him in a minecart. Now if you look, you see how if we place this minecart, it's going to mostly be inside the boat. That's what we want. It's going to grab him right away, and it's going to do that every single time. Jump on top of the boat, and he's going to fly off. And there's a weird bug, actually. So, for some reason, when they're in a minecart, and that minecart is in a boat, you don't need to power it. It's just going to keep moving. If we jump on the boat right here, he's going to fly all the way back up, no issue. You can, of course, take this railway as far as you want, following any sort of weird path. Let's get rid of that. Hello. Wow, that rails are weird sometimes. But we're going to take it all the way off in the distance where we have a little villager breeder. So once you have your villager breeder set up, things are now starting to get pretty easy. Of course, I would build a roof on this. I'm just being lazy because this isn't going to, well, hey, okay, well, they're having fun. I'm just being lazy because we're not going to really use this. It's for demonstrative purposes. Now, the way it works is villagers need beds near them. In fact, in this case, we have 14 beds. That means they'll continue having kids until there are 14 of them. Once they hit 14, they're going to stop until the villagers leave this location. If you build your trading hall right next to your breeder, there's going to be a bunch of villagers nearby, and these guys are not going to have any more kids. You're going to have to get a ton of beds, and it's a huge pain. I would say you want them to be at least about 40 blocks apart. Now, if you notice, this setup here is actually super precise. So in order to get the villagers out, we need a railway cart. That's going to be our easiest method. But if we have a hole open, well, then the little kids can run out, even if the big guys can't. So we need something to block them. The rail actually drops inside the wall for a reason. This railway is taking up the space in this block, but not this one. So there's a one tall gap, and if we place just a little trap door, all of a sudden it's too short and the little baby villager can't escape. But guess who can? We place our minecart, pick our villager up, and we could send them off. They will take a little tiny bit of damage as they go through, but that's really not that big of a deal. And of course, you don't want your railway leading to nothing. You want it to actually go somewhere. And we're going to send them into this little hole right here. Now, no, you do not have to use an end rod. I'm doing that so the place is well lit and I don't have to worry about mobs spawning. But you do need something right here. This makes it impossible to get in or to get out normally. On the other hand, a minecart, well, it'll go right in all the way. Thank you. That will trap your villager. Once the villager's trapped, you can just break this block, place down, there we go, place down whatever thing you want them to be able to trade with, and then if you want, break the minecart or leave them inside. It doesn't matter. The point is, now they're trapped and you are good. You can break the railway or continue it on so they go into the next hole and you can keep placing your villagers. It really is pretty simple, but now that they're in place, how do you actually trade with them? Well, trading with villagers really relies on two major concepts. One, the job of the villager. And the job of the villager can be determined by the different blocks. For example, a blast furnace creates an armor, a grindstone, a weaponsmith, a smithing table, a toolsmith, and then there's a few more. There's 13 different jobs in all. All of them have different trades and have different useful things. There will be a link in the description below to the wiki because I think it would take way too long and not be very interesting if I tried to list out every possible trade. Instead, I'm going to focus on the most important ones. So basically from here and over, we have what I would say are the most important starting villagers. The composter gives us farmers, the fletching table gives us fletchers, and the lectern gives us librarians. I already talked about these guys. As for how do you actually trade with them, basically villagers have two possible trades. One, you can either trade an item for emeralds, just like so, or you can trade emeralds for items. It's just that easy. Now, generally, certain villagers are better at certain types of trades. For example, the farmer villagers and the fletchers are most commonly used to actually get emeralds. And I actually kind of made a bit of a mistake here. So one moment while I get another fletcher set up. Okay, well the setup here is really kind of ridiculous, but it leads to the main point. If you notice, this fletcher has very different trades than this one. And that's because villager trades are randomized. So you may not get the trades you want. Luckily, it's really easy to fix. If we just destroy the, oops, sorry dude. If we just destroy this fletching table, and then we place a new one, he'll go to it and we'll get new trades. Also, if you hit them, they get mad and the prices go up, so don't do that. But now we have the stick trade, and this one is really important because the stick trade is probably the best way in the game in order to actually get emeralds early on. The regular trade is 32 sticks for one emerald, which is basically just 4 logs. It's really good. Quick note, speed trading. I'm holding down shift right now. So we click on this, hold shift, click on that, hit spacebar, it automatically refills, and we can just do that really, really quick. So the Fletcher is probably your best bet for early game emeralds. If you're going to go really far with villagers like I did, you're probably going to want to advance to farmers. While these trades aren't that good, let me up his trades a little bit. Farmers get access to pumpkin trades, and they also get access to melon trades, and these are really, really good. Now, they're guaranteed to get the melon trade, which is fantastic, but the reason that these are so good is because when you buy just one item from a villager, like this Fletcher, if we just kept, or if we sell one item to the villager and we just kept selling sticks, it's going to get more and more expensive, and eventually it may not be worth it. The benefit of farmers is once they have pumpkins and melons, because you're selling both, the prices never actually go up, which is a huge benefit. Now that we've talked about how to get emeralds, let's focus more on how to spend them, which is really, really easy. Librarians are for enchantments. As you can see here, we got lure. If we don't want that enchantment, well, we would just break this lectern and place another one down. Important note though, before we do that, you want to make sure the villager can't escape. Easiest way is to just take a trapdoor and place it like this. Boop. And now, even though there's tons of room here, he can't get out because the gap is just a little bit too small. So we can place that again, and we got protection too. Not awful, but not great. But now we can just keep buying these garbage pickaxes from the toolsmith, keep upping his trades. There we go. Sell some iron, because they do take other things as well, and you want to check how much experience you get. So this iron trade got me a ton of experience, but if we look, wait for it, if we try and sell pickaxes, look how little bit of experience we get. The first level is always super easy, but after that it can really vary. So you really want to look at not only how much something costs, but how much experience you actually get for it. Now, again, I think I said this earlier, but you want to remember that unfortunately, their trades are randomized. I actually got really lucky here. There's a chance the toolsmith might not have had the axe or the hoe. So it's possible that you wouldn't have access to either of these. The weaponsmith, on the other hand, always has the axe, so the hoe is the only one you really have to worry about. But now I've went ahead and pushed him to a master level, and we have access to the pickaxe. Fantastic. Now, he's always guaranteed to give us the pickaxe, so instead of the pickaxe being randomized, the enchantment is. And same thing for the diamond axe as well. So that really covers all the basics of trading with villagers and, well, also moving them around and why you would want them. I hope you found this video informative. This is Mischief Max signing out, and oh, actually one more thing. I am planning to do a more advanced video on villagers soon. So keep an eye out for that. There's some other techniques, and we'll also break down how to get all of these trades significantly cheaper. In any case, this is Mischief Max signing out. I hope you have a fantastic day.